Hi, I'm Rolf Perez with Shooter's Paradise. You may have heard me speak before about verifying that you have a round in the chamber ready to go in your carry firearm. It's critically important that that firearm is instantly ready to use, as you don't get to pick the time and the place and plan ahead for a criminal's attack. They're the ones that do that. We have to react. So we need to be ready to go at a moment's notice in order for our self-defense to be effective. So, I have had experiences before where I thought a gun was loaded and it wasn't. Well, that's happened to me again. Now, I unload firearms for firearms classes. We had a firearms class recently, and after the class, I had carried the gun for 24 hours with nothing in the chamber. It's interesting how that happened. Apparently, what happened is on loading, I didn't fully seat the magazine. So when I racked the slide didn't pick up around and put it into the chamber. Then I took the magazine out of the gun, stuffed a round into the magazine. So a 17 round magazine then had 18 rounds in it. Not sure how I did that one, but I got it in there apparently and reinserted the magazine and carried that gun thinking it had a round in the chamber, and it did not. So there was a breakdown there. When I loaded the firearm, I did not do my standard press check. So I think it's incredibly important that we verify 100% the status of the firearm that we're carrying if we're intending to carry it for self-defense. So I'd like to show you what I like to do. I think this is a good method. There are other methods out there. I would mention that many experts will suggest press checking the firearm to verify loading condition twice a day, once when you put it on in the morning, once when you take it off at night. However you decide to work this out, I think that's great. We're all different. We all have different lifestyles. We all can do different things. So I would like to show you this technique just to put it in your mind and consider it for use for yourself, because it would be the worst day of my life to have to use my firearm. The reason I would use a firearm is somebody was trying to kill me or a loved one. That's the worst day of my life right there. Then if the gun comes out to take care of saving my life or a family member's life, and the gun doesn't have a round in the chamber, the worst day of my life just became the worst day of my life times 100. So I'd like to demonstrate this for you and show you. I have a safe direction off to this side. If a projectile were to go this way, it would absolutely be stopped and contained here. So I have an unloaded firearm. First thing we'll do is verify that the firearm is unloaded. And we have an unloaded magazine. I'll set that here for the moment. We'll lock the slide back. The firearm is unloaded. You can see there's nothing in the firearm, hopefully. So the way I would press check this firearm, my method of loading would be to take this magazine, fully loaded magazine, insert it into the firearm, seat it properly, then rack the slide and let it go. That should pick up around and put it in the chamber. Then I would drop the magazine, take the magazine out, and it should be missing a round. This magazine has windows that I can verify. If it's missing a round, that's a good sign. That means there's probably one loaded in. I would then take my firearm and either place it in a safe place, like set it on a table with a proper backstop in front of it, or I would reholster my firearm, which I'll do here for convenience sake. I would then pick up a spare self-defense round matching all the others in the gun, and I would then insert it to refill this magazine 100%. So now there should be one in the chamber and a full magazine. Then I would take the firearm and I would insert that magazine, and I pull on the magazine 3 times. Now this is obviously a step that I missed when I loaded the gun after class, because had I pulled on it, I would have caught the fact that that magazine wasn't fully inserted and then the round wasn't picked up by the slide and pushed into the chamber. Just an aside there. Now, once I've inserted the magazine and pulled on it to verify that it is fully seated correctly, what I will do next is I will take this hand and grab the gun here like this. I will take this hand and I will come over the top. This works very good with the red dot sight, by the way. I will come over the top and I will assume what's called a gunsmithing grip, and I will pull the slide back a little bit. Then I will take a finger in my hand, whichever one you use, depends on how you're built and how your gun's made, and I will take my finger and insert it into the chamber, and now I am sticking this finger into the chamber, and I can feel whether or not there's a round in the chamber. I don't open that slide enough to eject that round, just enough to feel in there. Then I will let the slide go back forward, verify it's completely into battery, and then I will safely reholster the firearm as such. And that would be the method I would use to do this. So how did I carry for 24 hours without a round in the chamber? Obviously, when I first loaded the firearm and stuck the magazine in, I didn't pull on it. If the magazine's not fully inserted, when you run the slide, the top round in the magazine will be too low and the slide will miss it when it goes forward to push that round into the chamber. Because the way the gun functions, with the magazine fully inserted properly, the slide hits that round and it shoves it up into the chamber. So obviously I didn't pull on the magazine, which is my standard practice, to verify that a round would actually get loaded and the magazine was fully seated. The next thing that I did not do is I did not press check the gun. I did not hold the gun, rock it back, and stick my finger in the chamber to feel that cartridge. You can imagine my surprise when I did the press check after 24 hours and found nothing in the chamber. Yeah, that was not good. So what I'm recommending is every single time you handle the gun, in the morning, in the evening, whether you take the gun off at one point in the day or not, however you do, every time you put that gun in the holster intending to use it for self-defense, I strongly recommend that you do a press check like that. Verify the magazine is fully seated by pulling on it, and press check the firearm and feel if there is a cartridge in the chamber. It would be a horrible thing to carry thinking you were ready and then find out you weren't. I've seen videos of people who did not have a round in the chamber who died trying to get a round into the chamber. So that's something to consider. It happened to me again. And the point to this is develop a safe practice and follow it 100% of the time. We have firearms safety rules. They are followed 100% of the time. We don't ever make an allowance and break a firearm safety rule. Your press checking of the firearm and verifying that the firearm is loaded, that should be 100% of the time. I broke my own rule and I paid the consequence. Now, luckily, I didn't pay the big consequence, I paid the little consequence for it, but I very well could have paid the big consequence. So, take that, use it, enjoy. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate every one of you.